Sure is.
Well, these days when students need help with homework, it's just a few clicks away on the internet. But back in the 80s, you had to talk to a real person.
2 Works for You digital reporter Sarah Dewberry brings us a story KJRH covered back in 1982 as we launch a new segment called Flashback Fridays.
Hi and welcome to Flashback Friday. I'm your host, Sarah Dewberry. Every Friday, I'll be taking you back in time by showing you stories from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. At one point in time, we all had problems when it came to homework. Well, back in 1982, Nathan Hale's student, Ava Chambers, along with other Tulsa Public School students, got to call into a homework hotline. Now, I kind of know what you're thinking, and unfortunately, the phone number wasn't 8675309, but there were 3 teachers on the other end waiting to help anyone who called looking for help.
Eva Chambers is a junior this year at Hale High School. Tonight, she's having a problem with her trigonometry homework.
Homework hotline, can I help you?
I need help with my trig homework.
Eva says the teachers on the other end of the line help her think the problem through, keeping her from wasting time.
It's invaluable. You need it. I need it a lot of times, you know, when you don't know what else to do and you don't have a friend that knows what else to do, then there they are and they're ready to help you.
And even though Eva's parents like to help her with her homework, sometimes they just can't.
I used to help them with algebra, and I found out they changed the terms, and I was confusing them by giving them the terms that I learned. So it breaks down some of the confusion.
The hotline is about 1.5 years old, and officials are happy with the response. Some 50 to 60 students call each night, from those in high school to elementary kids. Robert Blizzard says the hotline provides free tutoring service for those who need it. The school district foots the bill, but he says the hotline helps more than just the students. It helps him become a better teacher. Of course, the 3 teachers who man the hotline each night can't answer every question, and a few students become dependent on the free help. But still, with the push for more homework to help students learn more, Dr. Jack Griffin says the hotline was started at the right time.
It sends a message that I said earlier to parents and students that homework is there for a reason, for reinforcement, and should be having a positive effect.
Griffin says running the hotline costs about $8,000 a year, but because of the good response, he says it's worth it. So if you're a student or parent and are stumped by a homework assignment, help is only a phone call away. Pete Knutson, News Center 2.
At the time, it cost the district about $8,000 a year to run the hotline. And today, if you need homework help, you can contact any Tulsa City County Library or other states like Tennessee. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you next Friday for our next edition of Flashback Friday. Have a wonderful weekend.
Well, a little over 16 million people served this country during World War II, wearing the uniform in some way or another. And some of those held a little known but important responsibility.
They were known as the Code Talkers. In this week's Flashback Friday, 2 Works for You digital reporter Sarah Dewberry shares the story of one of those heroes.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Flashback Friday. I'm your host, Sarah Dewberry. Today, I'm taking you back to 1998 as longtime anchor Jerry Weber introduces us to former World War II Comanche code talker Charles Chibetti.
That word came from the Comanche ship. They got it. We know where you are.
His face is lined now by the tracks of time. The once raven black hair shot through with gray. But the eyes that have seen war along the journey of a lifetime still have the look of eagles. His name is Charles Chibetti. He grew up near Lawton. He is a chief of the Comanche tribe, but remembers when he was small and sent away to Indian boarding school. The white man tried to take his language away from him.
We was forbidden to talk the Comanche language. And we always laughed and we said, I think they're trying to make little white boys out of us. But, you know, but when we get away, me and my cousins or somebody, we're talking Indian because that's all we knew.
Lucky for us, because during World War II, Charlie and his Comanche friends, American soldiers, were sent to Europe. Their mission to assess German troop strength and troop movement and weaponry and relay the information using their native language to stump the Germans. They became forever known as code talkers.
We didn't have no word for tank. And we use a wakare when we talk about a German tank, turtle.
And there is no word in the Comanche language for machine gun, so the code talkers invented one.
So one of the boys said, when Mama sews, she pedals her feet. Up here it makes noise just like a machine gun. So Tetsakana is a sewing machine. So we use that sewing machine gun for machine gun. Tetsakana that way. So that way we know we're talking about a machine gun.
And Adolf Hitler's minions never caught on. Charles Chibity is 75 now, one of the last two Comanche code talkers still alive. But they leave a magnificent heritage, one of honor and courage and valor for their country and for the Comanche people, using the words of the ancient people.
Sadly, Jerry passed away from stomach cancer in 1998. And before passing away due to diabetes complications in 2005, Dewberry was the last survivor of the Comanche Code Talkers. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next Friday on our next edition of Flashback Friday. Have a wonderful weekend.
Times when you found something in the most unexpected of places.
For one man, 21 years ago, he found a trail of money along a road. And this week's Flashback Friday, 2 Works for You digital reporter Sarah Dewberry shares how he made these incredible discoveries.
Hi, and welcome to Flashback Friday. I'm your host, Sarah Dewberry. Every Friday, we'll be taking you back in time by showing you stories from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. Our first story took place in 1997 when John Phelps found scattered money fragments along 57th West Avenue near West Edison Street.
But there'd be pieces along the side of the road there. Here's another piece of a 50.
Jim is still finding these pieces of large bills along 57th West Avenue north of Edison. Monday morning, Jim walked along this road looking for cans to recycle for money, but what he found was something worth much more.
And then I started back this way toward the pickup and bent down to pick up a can, and I thought there was a $20 bill there, and it was just one of these pieces. Right there's a piece. Missed it on the way up. That's the corner of a $100 bill.
Pieces of money which started adding up, which is why Jim feels he can't keep it.
Rather, in some ways, be given back to the person that had it to start with.
But are these pieces of money that Jim found along this stretch of road real? That's something we would soon find out.
Questions will be answered now, won't they?
We went to Tulsa's Secret Service Agency and met with Agent Bob Bray, who examined the shredded money and decided that it was indeed genuine U.S. currency. But he was still puzzled at Jim's finding.
My initial thought, maybe it's money that was stolen in a crime that people got afraid of and they wanted to dispose of it. So, we'll contact Tulsa Police Department and see if they have any information on it.
Until then, all Jim has now is a receipt of his finding, which gives him rights to the money if no one claims it. But no matter what happens, Jim's discovery is something he'll never forget.
This much money and just puzzling.
Juwan Strader, 2 News, NBC.
We tried searching for Phelps after the story, but to no avail. I want to thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you next Friday on our next edition of Flashback Friday. Have a wonderful weekend.
Well, they left us hanging.
What?
We need to know if he got the money.
Oh, I know.
Well, we'd have to go back in time 20 years.
Yeah, we would.
21 years.
I know Sarah probably tried to track him down. She's pretty good at that.
But I think you can send that to the Treasury Department, all shredded money, and you get the money back. And it takes a while.
Yeah, exactly.
But, if it's all shredded up.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I don't know.